Good afternoon, friends. Welcome to our homestead. Behind us is our freeze dryer, and we have been using this for years to save a lot of different things. I'm going to talk about what those are and how they can save you money, and I'm going to talk about a special deal that Harvest Right has going on right now for the month of May 2025. Let's get into it. A big way that we save money with our freeze dryer for our family is to freeze dry all of our leftovers. This way nothing is going to waste and the meals are pre-prepared and ready to eat whenever we need them. But if I put dishes like this in the freezer, they're not going to last as long as you think. But after I freeze dry this will last up to 25 years. Let me show you the load that I'm going to freeze dry today and all the leftovers that we do have. Okay, check this out down here. I've got 2 trays of this dish that I made with pasta and onions and tomatoes, so on and so forth like that. It's kind of like a goulash. Anyway, that is that. I've got over here 2 different lentil soups that I made. One is newer than the other, and I spread it out on there and threw it in the freezer just so I could save it. I made it then again the next week, and we just could not eat all of it. So now we've got savings from 2 different meals. And then right here I've got something that I've had in there for a little while, but we've got some leftover risotto and some chili. Now that I have a full load, I can get them into the freeze dryer. Now the freeze dryer is off right now, but I did have it running earlier to start to cool down. I just shut it off so I could make the video. It can get a little bit loud. Let me turn it back on and tell you about a little trick that I do with this. Okay, I'm gonna start the machine again. When you initially start up your Harvest Right freeze dryer, it will give you 15 minutes before you are able to load the food. During that 15 minutes, it's cooling down the chamber. However, in 15 minutes, it will only get down to about 55 degrees Fahrenheit. For me, I'll just let it cool down for a few hours with nothing in there. And I usually get it down to around 10 degrees Fahrenheit. Since I shut it off for a few minutes to talk to you, it's up to 20 degrees. But now I can load my food in and the cycle will be a little bit quicker. Remember to freeze your food ahead of time before putting it in the freeze dryer. What that's going to do is make the cycle go way faster. Because if you put raw food in here, it's going to take quite a long period of time for this freeze dryer to freeze your food before it can start the freeze drying process. Now let me show you something really cool, but briefly, before I do that, I want to talk about the cost of these machines. Recently, the price on these has really come down. The company is working really hard to get prices down. There's a sale on right now, which has a small freeze dryer, which the new modern small freeze dryers are as big as my old medium freeze dryer. Those are only about $2,100. And if you've been monitoring the prices of these for years, then you know how much those have come down. Probably $800 or $900. And right now for the month of May 2025 with our special coupon code, you get an additional $100 off. You have to click on our link in the description below and then enter our coupon code. So head down there and check it out. Now let's look at this. This is a medium-sized tote. You can see I'm lifting it with one hand, but what's in here is what's important. This is roughly 20 meals for my entire family, and I can lift it with one hand. That is a huge advantage to freeze drying food. This bag of freeze-dried raw potatoes contains about 20 potatoes. That's a lot. If you had just a regular bag of potatoes in your house, that's going to weigh about 8 pounds maybe. Additionally, if you can raw potatoes, which tastes great and it works great, but they are very heavy in those glass jars. And you have to find space for them. For me, 20 meals, I can just lift with one arm and throw it anywhere I want. And for many people, weight and space is an issue, especially some of you who are elderly and you need to store things and they can't be too heavy to get up on a shelf. Freeze-dried foods are great for that. It'll just be a second for you, but when we come back, I'll show you how long this batch took and how it turned out. And we're back, and we've actually gone over time by about a half an hour, so let me cancel this. It was on extra drying time, which is always good anyway. We're gonna kick it into defrost mode, and then I am going to open the valve on the back and get the food out so I can package it. There we go, everything's done, and just like styrofoam. Now when I package my items, I have everything ready to go because this will start to gain moisture almost immediately, especially down south here in Texas. So I've got everything written out, I've got my bags open, I'm ready to just shove it in the bag and seal it up quick. I've got my straw ready and my oxygen absorbers also. Also, if you are interested, these silicone pads made by Harvest Right are really fantastic. You saw how easily the food just came off the tray and I could just throw it quickly in the bag. I started using these just last year and they are awesome. Much easier than trying to scrape it off the tray. If you want a more in-depth tutorial on how I package these very quick so they don't absorb the surrounding moisture, go click on the video at the top of the screen. That's how we save a ton of money here on our homestead, and we have ready-to-eat meals if we go on a trip, if we go camping or wherever else. And remember, month of May 2025, $100 off with our coupon code. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them for me in the comments section below the video. Now go click on this video right here, which shows you some quick troubleshooting tips for your Harvest Right freeze dryer. Have a beautiful, blessed day. See you next time. Bye.